Good morning, guys. So I just wanted to share this really quick because I just feel like, wow, I am such a different person than when I first began my dog grooming journey back in 2010, I believe. So nine years ago, when I started this journey as a dog groomer, I was fearful, I was timid, I was insecure, I was overly concerned with what people thought about me. And so this really hindered my business 9 years ago, hindered my growth and everything. And I just wanted to share an example, because a morning like this morning usually would have sent me in a panic, anxiety attack, everything. I'd be like, my palms would be sweaty, because I originally was supposed to be there at 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock now, right? But I did two new dogs yesterday. I was wiped out. These days I've been doing a few more new dogs, because I've been kind of clearing out my client list and clearing out the waiting list by raising my prices like crazy. Again, another thing that I would have been too scared to do before is raise my price to $275. I thought that the people would not like me. I thought I would lose all my customers. I thought that people would think that, oh, here it's finally got to his head. Now it's all about the money. It's not that at all. It's just that I was turning away celebrities. I was turning away legit celebrities, A-list celebrities, because I had to put them on my waiting list. It's not fair to put them in front of other people. So I started to realize, now it has to become, now that I'm in more demand, this is just the law of supply and demand. I have to raise my prices to reflect what's going on, right? And so anyways, I let my client know. I texted him, hey, I did a couple of new dogs yesterday. I'm completely wiped out. I'm literally exhausted, and I'm gonna be late. I told him I'll get there by 10 o'clock. And the thing is, before it was like, oh, what if they don't like that, and what if they fire me? Now I just don't care. It's like, you can't. I realize, okay, I have 3 celebrities on my client list now, right, on my schedule. One is definitely much more famous than the other 2, but all 3 of my clients are famous, right? Legitimately famous. And now, I remember every time I went to a rich person's house, even, most of my clients are rich, and I'm the groomer for the rich and famous. That's my niche now, and I'm okay with saying that. Before, I was actually ashamed to even say that. But hey, someone's got to serve that market. Might as well be me. So anyways, before I went to the famous people's homes, or even the rich people's homes, before, I felt a lot of anxiety. I felt a lot of just nervousness, and just like, what if I say the wrong thing? They're gonna fire me. I know I'm gonna blow it. All these different ideas. Let me turn the Bluetooth off before I start my engine. So, all of these self-doubt, right? But then I remember telling myself, you know what? I really don't need the business at this point. I have enough business. I really don't need the business. So what am I afraid of? Well, I'm afraid that these famous people aren't gonna like me, and they're gonna fire me, and then I'm gonna feel bad. It's like, really though? Would I really feel bad? They didn't like me, and so they fired me. They didn't like how I really am. They didn't like how I act. They didn't like my jokes, things like that. If I can't behave the way I really am, if I have to act like somebody else to impress these rich and famous people that are my clients now, then I don't want to be there. I realize that. And so it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna, I remember one time this one guy was like, hey, when you get to this famous person's house, don't ooh and ah. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Like, they're probably gonna fire me. I probably won't be their groomer next month, because that's what I do. And if it makes them uncomfortable, it makes them weird, and they don't want me to come back because I ooh and ah and I don't hide my excitement, well then, fine, I don't want to be their groomer. And now, by taking this attitude rather than that fearful attitude, like overly trying to impress, trying too hard to be somebody else or put on a show or something, no, I just go in, I just be myself. And I realize that's the easiest thing to do. And also, if they don't like it, why would I want to go back? Because they have a nice mansion? Because they're famous? No. If they don't like who I am, why would I want to be there, right? So same thing with this morning. It's 9:30 now. I'm probably still gonna not make it there by 10. And it's not like this, well, if you don't like it, fine then, I don't care, I'm gonna be late. It's not that at all. It's just, grooming is a very physical, exhausting job. And I haven't had a lot of new clients, right? So I was kind of lucky. I was just kind of maintaining everything. But now that I have a lot of new clients coming in now, Yeah, I remember now how difficult it is to do a new client, the dog, the first time. A lot of work needs to go in. I was exhausted last night, but I still did the live stream last night because I wanted to talk about how I cope emotionally when a dog dies after I groom them, or when I get injured a dog or lose it, something happens. How do I cope emotionally? Because a groomer called yesterday morning crying about this. We talked for a long time, and I wanted to share some of the stuff that we talked about because I feel like it is helpful for groomers because we do go through a lot of emotional stress. So I wanted to talk about that last night, but after the live stream, I went upstairs, I crashed. I don't even remember what time it was, nothing. I just passed out. And then this morning, I couldn't move. My body just ached, and it was because grooming is such a physical job. So if my client wants to think to themselves, June doesn't care about people, he's inconsiderate, he's showing up late, because he doesn't care. If that's what they think, then that's fine. It's not my job to control what other people think about me, I'm actually I was literally exhausted. I texted him this morning. I was like, I'm sorry, Tony. Sorry about the. I'm sorry. I did 2 new dogs yesterday, and it literally wiped me out. And I told him I didn't even realize how exhausted I was until this morning. My body was literally buzzing. I couldn't move. And I was like, but I'm up now, and I'll be there by 10. I'll try to be there by 10. And yeah, and it's like if they don't, if my clients want to think, oh, he's always late, he doesn't care, whatever, we don't like him, fine, that's really fine, because I don't want to allow fear to run my business decisions for me anymore. Oh, I might lose a client, so what? I'm gonna lose business, so what? I can get more. There's always more dogs to groom, Oh, this famous person, one of the, I have 3 famous people now on my client schedule, but anyways, oh, one of them's gonna not like me, and then they're gonna tell all their other famous friends not to use June the groomer. So what? As if their money is somehow more special, their $100 bill is more special than someone else's $100 bill. No, it's still Benjamin Franklin, I think, right? But anyways, yeah, these days, I just feel so free. I just feel so free, and I just feel it's like such a different person now, because I just realize every time I catch myself feeling that fear again, oh, people aren't gonna like me. So what? Do I really need everybody to like me? No, I just need to like myself, really. That's all it really comes down to. Do I like myself? Am I proud of the person I'm becoming? Yes. Okay, well then that's fine. Let everybody talk, Then, oh, what if you lose all your clients? Okay, well then I got a lot of other projects in mind that I just don't have time to do because I'm always grooming dogs every single day. And I'm tired on my days off. So yeah, if I lose all my clients, none of them want me to come back, then yeah, I have a lot of other stuff to do. I got my audiobook to record. Okay, what if nobody wants to listen to it? I don't care. I'm doing it just to say, boom, I got it out there, So anyways, yeah, it's like, oh, well then, what if you lose all your YouTube subscribers and you don't get any more YouTube money? I don't care. It was never about that in the first place. Yeah, the money did excite me. I'm not gonna lie about that. The money does excite me, and it does make me happy. It makes me feel so grateful. Whenever the money comes into my account every month, I literally tell myself, this is the love coming from all over the world. People all over the world are sending me love, and I feel so grateful. But if it stops coming, okay, I'm gonna find something else to do, and I'll still stream. I'll still keep streaming because it was never about that. Like I never could have imagined that this YouTube channel would have become what it became. I'm lucky, So now what? If it just all goes away, now I'm unlucky? No, I was still lucky to have been in that position. It's like there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. There's absolutely nothing to be scared of in this world. Anything that scares you, you can study it. And once you study it and you understand it better, all of a sudden you're not scared of it anymore. Share M, you are absolutely right. It is too bad it takes us so long to figure out just to be ourselves. I found the more comfortable you are, the more people like you. Exactly, oh my God. So even yesterday, the new client, she was like, oh, June, you're working so hard. Would you like a drink? And I was like, yes, scotch, neat. And she started laughing, and I was like, you know what? Honestly, I don't even know how to drink it like that. You know, like I just saw it in a movie somewhere. I thought it was fancy. And then oh, and then she introduced me to her mom. You know, her mom and I think her mom and her aunt, or you know, they came, and she was like, you know, oh, and they came by. They saw me, and we said hi. And then you know, when I went back in the house though, she was like, oh, June, this is my mother. And I was like, oh, I thought there were a couple of fangirls. Oh man, they laughed. They all laughed, you know. And the thing is, I was like, I am so happy that that joke hit, because it could have been really uncomfortable. I was like, it could have got really awkward. I was like, but oh, my jokes are hitting today. I was like, I feel so amazing, you know. And I was just my stupid, silly self, and they loved it. And guess what? If they didn't, I wouldn't go back. Share M, if you want to live a life of fear, then never do anything that scares you. Exactly. That was in the book, I think it was Nerve by Taylor Clark. But I heard that quote from Taylor Clark. It was towards the end of the book, almost the last chapter. It was the last chapter, almost towards the end of the book. Yeah, he said, if you want to sentence yourself to a life of fear, never do anything that scares you. And I love the way he put that, because it literally feels like a prison. If you want to sentence yourself to live in the prison of your own fears for the rest of your life, never do anything that scares you. And I think that's kind of how I got over one fear after another. I just started tackling them. Anything that made me scared, I started doing it. You know, oh, I didn't want anybody to find out that I was diagnosed with clinical depression. I thought it would ruin me. I thought it would ruin my reputation. So something told me, don't do it. It's gonna ruin you. And I was scared, so I did it. I just let it out. I was like, you know what? Back in 2015, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. I talked about it, and I went to sleep that night knowing the next day I was gonna wake up to just a lot of people hating me, and maybe a lot of lost subscribers, everything. I kind of prepared myself mentally for the loss of everything, you know, for that disappointment that I might feel. But actually the opposite happened, you know? Everything that, like, I was thinking, oh, don't do that, you're gonna ruin yourself. I made myself do it anyways, because I'm not gonna allow fear to run my life anymore. Go Groomer. OMG, June, I just watched your live stream from last night. You are amazing to connect with us like that. Wow. Thank you, Go Groomer. You know, and it's funny you say that, because a lot of the reason why I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing is because people tell me not to. They tell me not to talk about the times that I was suicidal. They tell me not to talk about the times where I thought about quitting grooming. They tell me not to talk about the times where I lost a dog, I injured a dog, I was upset. This is when I first started grooming. I was a bather. I got upset with this dog named Blue. I was getting frustrated with him because he wouldn't stand up, and I'm trying to dry him and brush him. He was just so hard to deal with, and he was like almost 100 pounds. So yeah, I got a little frustrated, and it was like 9 years ago, beginning my career. The next day, the parents came by to bring him by to say bye to everybody, because they said they had to put him down. He's just too old and all this. I felt terrible. I actually cried that day because I felt so horrible about how upset I was with him, when I didn't know that he's so old and going through so much that he's actually gonna be put down the next day. They just wanted him to look nice. You know, it's like, wow. And people tell me, don't talk to people about these things. They make you look really bad, you know? And you're gonna lose everything. You're gonna ruin your reputation. And so I say, okay, that's what you think, that's what's gonna happen? Okay, I'm scared now. Well, then that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do exactly what is scaring me. Share M, it's like thrill doing things that scare me. I was afraid of driving, flying, going out alone, being alone, certain foods. This is Share M, and Share says, I was paranoid and I didn't live for the first 40 years of my life. I feel so free now that I let it go. Wow, Share, good for you. Go Groomer, and that is right there. You share the right stuff. Thank you, Amy. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna end with this one story because I love it so much, and you guys probably already heard me hear it, but I remind myself of this all the time. So the story goes that in Africa, the older male lions, because they're older, their teeth are worn down, they're not very helpful in the hunt. So The lionesses, the younger lions, they get on one side of the prey, gazelle or antelope, whatever they're hunting. They go on one side, you know, like downwind or upwind or whatever, upwind from them, right? So they don't catch their scent. And then the older male lions will go on the other side, and not only will the animals catch the scent because they're downwind, but also they let out this incredibly intimidating roar, you know, because they still have their giant roar. Right, so they scare the antelope and gazelle, and they run over to the opposite way, away from the roar, away from what's terrifying them, and they run right into the mouths of the waiting hungry lions, the younger lions, right? So the moral of the story is, if you want to live, run towards the roar. If you want to live, run towards the very thing that's scaring you to death. And you might find out that that lion has no teeth. Just a big roar, you know? But what's waiting in silence are the predators, you know, on the other side of the roar. So don't run away from what scares you, because you're gonna get ambushed. Run towards the roar, run towards what scares you. Amy, awesome. Hey, Amy, I have your clover. I just been so busy. I put it in this Oster just to preserve it. But anyways, today I have a little bit of a break from one client to the next. If I have a chance to stop by the post office today, I will mail it out. If not, tomorrow, oh my God, tomorrow's another really busy day. But if not, this weekend. This weekend I have off for my kids. My kids are coming to visit me. So, yeah, while I'm out with my kids, I'll stop by a UPS or a FedEx or something, and I will FedEx it to you. Because I really want you to have this, because you are a four-leaf clover, and so am I. I recognize it, and I honor the light in you that's also in me. Namaste, guys.